Hey y'all, Katherine Bailess. I'm with Chris Gordon, and we are on Hellblazer Biz.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be in the world right now. This is Hellblazer Biz, and I am your host, the one, the only, Chris Gordon. That's right, baby, I am back, I am better than before, and I am bringing to you some fantastic interviews with actors, actresses, directors, and filmmakers from around the world. I thank you all for tuning in, whether you be on iTunes, YouTube, Podbean, TuneIn.com, Spotify, or Google Play, or Heart FM. Thank you so much, or Heart Radio even. I thank you all for joining me, and I hope you all enjoy the episode that I am bringing to you today. If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. Put your feet up and relax. If you're one of my regular listeners, then again, please just put your feet up. You know what to expect. Today's guest is exciting for me. She is coming from the hit TV show Hit the Floor, which has just entered its 4th season and is on BET in the States right now. So without further ado, I bring to you the enigmatic, the beautiful, the fantastic, gorgeous accented Katherine Bailess. Hey, Katherine.
Hey Chris, thank you so much for having me.
No, I really appreciate you coming on and doing this.
Fun. I just wish I was in England and not California.
I kind of just
I
wish.
bet you have better weather than we do right now.
I don't think so. To be fair, it's I got drenched yesterday. Mind you, it was about 29, so we're looking about 80s. It's been in the 80s, which is good for really good for us in England. It's really bad.
Yeah.
So we've had it really hot. But yesterday, I was just in my shirt. Obviously more than that. Obviously from work, coming from work, and we've had massive thunderstorms over the past few days and proper lightning. And I was drenched to the skin in a 5-minute walk. It felt like I just jumped into a swimming pool.
Here's the thing. Rain is fun when you're inside and you're laying on your couch and you just hear it and you're just like, this is a relaxing day. Not when you got to get somewhere in New York City or England. I don't think so.
Exactly, yeah. Like you say, when you're relaxing and sitting like that, it's great fun because you can just sit there and you hear it on the windows and it's just it's bliss. It's nice. But when you're trying to get to the train to get back from work, which is an hour on the train and you're just sitting there absolutely, you look like a drowned rat. And then you're seeing pictures of someone else back in another part of the country, and they're in like 80 degrees of heat with no clouds in the sky. It's like, and then I sit and talk to people who are in California as well all the time, and I just sit there and your bad weather is probably a really scorching hot summer's day for us, and that's a really bad day for you.
Oh yeah, no. I never know it's going to rain here, and I go outside, and all of a sudden it's pouring. And there's no umbrella in my car on me. So then I look like a drowned rat too. So I know the feeling.
And for you, it's probably, as long as it's not when you go into an audition or something like that. Or
Oh no, it happened. I know the other day I had an audition. This was so bad. And I actually did have an umbrella in my car, but it's from like 9 years ago, and it's broken.
Right.
So I had to hold it up like this, like both hands. I mean, I looked crazy, but I just didn't care. I was like, I cannot get my hair wet. Like, it is pouring down rain, and I have to walk through Disney Ranch. Like, this is crazy.
Oh, no. See, I've got an umbrella, but I leave it in the car, and I get the train. So when I was actually stood at the train station thinking, the umbrella is in my car at my place in Watford, and I was like, why? Just why? So, yeah.
What's the point?
Exactly.
Why do I have... Yeah.
I could have bought one from the shop, obviously, but that was just... being a tight Englishman, that was just like not spending any money on that. Why spend when you don't need to?
Well, true, but try to keep dry there, Chris. Okay.
Oh yeah, we will. But yeah, so that's the weather. But yeah, no, it is always heartening to see that people over in California are enjoying the lovely weather out there, and even if you do get rain, it's the rain goes out there. Though I mean, sorry to keep this on about the weather, but when it does rain in LA and stuff like that, it's a torrential downpour, then it stops, then it gets really hot again, and you just dry off.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It does,
Like we need the rain out here. Every time it rains,
yeah,
like we need it. But look, I'm from Mississippi, so I'm used to weather. I'm used to like storms and lightning and tornadoes. Out here, it's just like 72 and sunny. 72 and sunny.
Yeah, no change whatsoever. I was going to say, Mississippi gets really muggy as well. The humidity. Oh yeah, I've not been there, but I can imagine.
It's like you're taking a bath, but you're not taking a bath. Like you have to swim through the dew in the air. I mean, I grew up there. I mean, and we played a lot outside. I don't know how I survived. It's only good for your skin. That's what I always say. Listen, it's hot, but you got good skin and bad hair.
Well, yeah, no matter what happens, I guess your hair frizzes right up.
Oh yeah. You just pull right on back.
Yeah, the joy of the southern states and the mugginess down there. It's not, but I actually want to go to Mississippi. It's one of the places I do want to visit one day. It's and LA to be fair, because I've been to Florida and New York. I've just never been to LA or even Mississippi.
Really? Well, if you're ever in Mississippi, you're gonna call me up. You're gonna meet my parents. They're very hospitable people. They can put you up.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
No, that sounds great. So this is a great part of the country, I think, and like you say, I love the accents down in the southern states. It's just great. You've got a nice little twang, and it's not as harsh as somewhere like in New York, where it's like really, I'm not going to do impressions and accents. Don't worry.
I don't mind. I don't mind it.
I can't do them anyway, so it's fine. I can't do it. I could do I could do a southern one a little bit, but not New York.
I love the English accent. I just think it's so charming. Everybody sounds so nice and proper, which I'm sure not everybody is.
No. No, they're not, unfortunately. But yeah,
I feel like get away with murder.
Yeah, I suppose you could do. It's like, yes, one has just dispatched this person.
Right.
Yeah. Unfortunately, people like Benedict Cumberbatch has probably got one of the quintessential English accents as well. But yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, some fantastic. I mean, to be fair, it's I can see why. I think the Irish one as well, in fairness as well, that's a good one. Because even so, I mean, even when Liam Neeson speaks as a bloke, I sit there and I'm just traumatized and just listen to the inflections.
Oh yeah, well you got it too now. Don't discount your act.
Thank you. I'll charm you by the end of the hour or the half hour. Excellent. So I've got some questions for you anyway. Eventually, I'll get to them. Just obviously around where you've been, what were you doing, obviously with hit the floor as well, things like that, and moving on and see and just have a bit of a conversation and a chat and see where it takes us.
Cool.
So the first one is you have been in the entertainment industry since you were 4. It's pretty impressive, to be fair. I know you're not very old. You're not old at the moment, so I can't say it's a long time. So I won't say that because you're still.
Well, I mean, to start, dancing and gymnastics and all that at a young age.
Yeah, so dancing. It's same. Yeah, it's the commencement, should I say, of the entertainment industry. So knowing what you do now, is there anything that you would tell your younger self to either do differently or watch out for?
I would tell my younger self to not care so much what other people think. And I think when I was younger, I was so worried about everyone else. I mean, even though I was a dancer, I was a gymnast, I was started becoming an actress and a singer, but I cared so much about what other people thought that it kind of hindered me from being the best that I could be.
Yeah.
So that would be one of my things I would tell myself. Because we're so hard on I mean, I'm still hard on myself, but not as much as I used to be. You just have to you got to fail. You can't get better unless you fail.
Yeah.
It's hard when you're a so-called perfectionist, and that's kind of how I was as a gymnast and as a dancer and as an actress. And I think that people find more joy in our faults been like so perfect. So
No, no, it's really that's some great advice you would give as well. I think especially with dancing and gymnastics as well, there always is a strive for perfection because of what
yeah.
it is, because it is precision movement. So I can see, and I've known gymnasts and dancers, and I see it in them, and the fact that and how hard it is they take it if something just slightly goes wrong, and so yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. I was a big competitive gymnast like
Mhm.
for a long time until I broke my arm. But I'll never forget. I was like winning every single meet, and I was kind of getting cocky. I was like, okay, I don't really have to try this hard on this one, and I ended up like not getting first place, and I was like, whoa, wake up call. You have to always be on your toes,
Mhm.
always. I mean, it's not just like, oh, okay, I'm just waking up from a nap. I'm gonna go, do flips on the beam and on the bars. That's not how it goes. So I think at an early age, I learned a lot of discipline through the gymnastics.
Yeah. And I guess that kind
Yeah.
of does help you in your acting life as well, because obviously there are
Oh,
times
sure.
definitely. I think with discipline, because, and I think the motivation and passion as well, because I mean, everyone I speak to, there's for every role that you go in, for like every hit the floor that you've got where you've been 4 seasons and stuff, there's always going to be a time when there's always a time when you're constantly working, when you're not
Yeah.
actually filming, you're working with rehearsals and you're going out and doing stuff, because
Yeah.
you've got to have that motivation, you've got to have that dedication, and and that, what's the word we've just used? I've forgotten the word we just used. Discipline. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. See, I ramble. I just go off on a tangent and forget. So yeah, you've got to have that discipline in you to carry
Same
on.
way. I am so the same way. But like yeah, like with hit the floor, I mean it's another beast. Like I mean I've never been on another show. I've been in movies where I dance and I
Yeah.
sing and I act. But like being on a television series for 4 years, a little over 4 years, dancing my butt off is a whole nother game. And like
Yeah.
with rehearsals, and then I have to learn my lines, and then we have a lot on our plate. But the other day I was talking with somebody. I'm like, that's like champagne problems. Like I've got this fabulous job, and I'm complaining because I have dance rehearsal at 6 in the morning until 9, and then I have to go to like 4 scenes after that. Like, I just want to feel appreciated sometimes. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
people know what I'm going through. Do you know that I have a pulled hamstring? Do you know that I whiplashed my neck? Do you know that I just hurt my toe? Like, I mean, it's a but
Well, yeah. I suppose
it's
if you do that, say if you've got that and you've got 4 scenes to do after you might hurt yourself in the thing, you've got to still smile and push yourself through it regardless to make sure that the films, the scenes get shot.
I mean, this year I accidentally had a minor accident like the night before I had to shoot a dance. I went to go get my nails done, and I was wearing my toenails, and I was wearing those little flip flops that they put you in when you leave the nail
Not that I
salon.
know. Yeah.
Well, they're flimsy and they're not really flip flops. Well, I'm walking across the parking lot to go back to the hotel, and I jam my toes into one of those stumps that stops your car. Blood. I was like, oh my God, I thought I broke 2 toes. I'm like, how am I going to dance tomorrow? I just had to plow through it. The medic taped all my toes together, gave me a bunch of Advil. It's just, like, I was hobbling around, like, please don't shoot this part of the dance with me in it. I'm so embarrassed. But we didn't have enough time to have like a dance double because it was,
Yeah, it's so intense.
So,
Yeah. Oh gosh, I can't imagine that. I know exactly what it's like. I stubbed my big toe on the sofa, and
oof.
the words out of my mouth were not the best. If you think the English language is nice, then you wouldn't have understood. You wouldn't have liked the words that came out of this mouth. I tell you.
It's the worst. I
It
know.
is.
Especially the toes hurt so much.
They do, and I think tangent again, because I did it with my little toe as well. And when I was born, this is just a really off the wall, strange subject. I mean, you can see you can see my fingers slightly bent. Can you see that? Yeah. My toes are as well. I was a long baby, and so apparently, and they're naturally bent. So when I smashed my little toe, I went in to the A&E, the casualty, or ER or whatever, and he was trying to straighten it. He put me on laughing gas. And I had to get held back because he was trying to straighten the toe, which had been there since, at the time, 35, 36 years. And my fit, even with laughing gas, I could feel everything because he was literally trying to. And I was like, my fist was up and had to get pulled back and was like, no, and tell him just quit. And he's just like, no, I'll strap it up.
Do this. This is the way it looks.
Exactly. It's like, I can't help the fact that I've got a deformed toe. I was like, it's not, sorry.
Ouch. I
Yeah.
would have died. Oh my God.
Yeah, so I can say quite safely, I guess that feels like I can definitely say that pain was nothing compared to like women giving birth who get gas and air, and the gas and air does jack. So I can just imagine how much women have to go through because when they get gas and air and they have to do that, because the pain, it does nothing. Gas and air just absolutely does nothing for you.
No, no, but it is fun.
Yeah, it is fun, yeah, because I was kind of laughing when I was about to hit him in the face.
He wasn't laughing.
Yeah, he wasn't laughing, no. I mean, I wouldn't actually have done it. Well, I don't know, actually, because I was in that much pain, you just can't help it. It's a natural reaction. So, if that doctor's ever listening, I do apologise for the fact you nearly got punched.
Oh yeah. I broke my arm in half, and I told the nurses that they couldn't touch me, and they were like, I was 13. They were like, what? I'm like, you can't touch my arm. You put me to sleep first. I've seen it on TV.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, just put me under. And they were like, who is this 13-year-old? I was like, my name's Katherine Bailess. And you're not touching my broken arm. Like I was, because I mean, that was horrible.
Yeah, I think.
I can't.
Yeah. They're just, sometimes they're just not good. They do wonderful jobs.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just too much. When it's your body that they're about to really hurt.
Yeah.
So I've got to say, you are not only just an actor, but obviously we have mentioned you are a dancer as well. But you're also a singer. And I've got to say, I listened to Mississippi.
Oh, you did?
I listened to it on your website. I actually love it. I really love. I know it sounds probably it's not. It sounds a bit sycophantic. It's not. I love country music. My iTunes has got filled with like Florida Georgia Line, Casey Musgraves, Rascal Flatts, Carrie Underwood. It's got all.
Really?
What's his name as well? I can't remember. So they're all on there. So I was going to ask you, how can I get your music? Because I really loved that, and you've got such a. I've got a really great voice.
Thank you. I think I have some 3 songs on Reverb Nation. .com, and you can listen to them there. They're not on iTunes yet. I was writing and recording for about 3-4 years in Nashville, going back and forth. Was really, really thinking about moving there, and then I was like, wait, I need to concentrate on the acting at this very moment, and then that's when I booked Hit the Floor, which is a blessing. So I just started getting back into writing and recording, so I'll probably have some new stuff. But right now I've got a few songs on Reverb Nation, and then I'm a Mississippi video. I guess you saw the video, right?
Yeah, I did. I watched the video of it.
Yeah. I shot that in my hometown.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Oh, yeah. I hired like 3 guys to come from LA and shoot here. Shoot in Mississippi, and I got all my friends and family to come out and do some line dancing. And the mayor was there. Like, we had a good time.
Brilliant. Makes it more special knowing that you've that was all your friends and family in it as well.
Yeah, and it makes it authentic.
It does, yeah, especially because that's what the whole song's about. It's the fact you're missing it, and that's what you're missing. So no, it was good. I say that's what seriously that I can show you in a minute. Just my iTunes library, it's packed with country because I just love the sound of it. It's just really obviously your kind of the music that you sort of do. I think some of the older country. I don't like some of the older country stuff, but yeah, there's a lot more modern. It's sort of modernized a bit more, and it's really good. There's some fantastic new music. Cool. Have you done any theatre work?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I have. So that's why I went to Manhattan. I went there for school, and then I ended up doing theater at my school, Marymount Manhattan, and then I ended up getting my first equity show, which was off Broadway, and it was Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Which I'm sure you've seen.
Oh yeah, I love that show. I love musical theatre.
Yeah, and so I was focusing on Broadway when I was there, and then I ended up getting into acting school, and then getting really into the acting. So I ended up leaving Manhattan after all my school was over, and my very first big project in LA or in the industry was from Justin to Kelly. So I got to sing, dance, and act in that, which was pretty amazing. But I did a straight play here for the first time. I did it 2 summers in a row. It's called The Boomerang Effect.
Yeah.
It got great reviews. I had never done a straight play before, but it was a comedy, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I actually really still close to like all of my castmates.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess because you've moved on to screen, how do you prefer screen to stage, or because they're two completely different?
It's completely different. I mean, I started off with stage,
Mm-hmm.
but for me, it's the immediate gratification, the stage work.
Yeah.
It's just like every single night is different. Every matinee is different. Sometimes you get laughs on everything. Sometimes you get one laugh. You're like, what is wrong with this audience? Like, and then, of course, all of us are gossiping in the back, and we can hear the audience in our dressing room. So we know what's happening, and we're just like, oh, well, should we push it a little harder? But every audience is different, and that's what makes theater so exhilarating. You know, with film, you know, and I'm the comedic relief in Hit the Floor. So sometimes people can't help but laugh in the background, but everyone tries to be so quiet because of the sound. So if someone starts laughing, they'll do it. But yeah, I love both. I mean, I'm fortunate that I've done both. A lot of actors haven't. Some people just started in TV and film and they didn't start with theater, or they start with theater and they want to get into film. And it's cool that I've actually done, you know, both. But I think that, you know, some people can't do theater; they get scared because it's live.
Yeah, I think so. I think
with film and TV, you can do it again and again and again. And you never know how they're going to edit it. You can't edit Broadway.
No, no, not at all. I mean, I started out acting when I was in school, and I wish I'd sort of had a gap, 20-year gap, obviously with good work, which I'm still working, but I've started getting back into it last year. But I used to I was in musicals at school. I loved it because, again, it was the same. It was that gratification, and I know exactly what you mean about the fact that you're backstage and you can hear the audience, because I was Drake the butler in Annie. That was my famous big role at the time. And
I love it.
And I came on, and it was, I think, the FBI were at the door for Daddy Warbucks, and I just watched the X-Files. I mean, this is going back a long way because I'm old, so it's like 1990 something, and I just watched the X-Files. And so when I was saying the FBI, I loved how Fox Mulder said it. So I just came on stage in a dinner suit and everything, you know, obviously a tuxedo, and my first time in a tuxedo, came out, and it was, first of all, I had some wolf whistles from a girlfriend at the time and some of the girls in the audience, and it was like, that's the first, never happened before. So I was like, you know, chest up, puffed out. I was like, it's just immediately, it was like, Daddy Warbucks, sir, it's the FBI. And apparently the critics who were there at the time, obviously the local papers, said I said that with such disdain and perfectly timed. It was just absolutely brilliant. And I was like, really? I was just copying Mulder on the X-Files last night.
Hey, that's flattery, man. That works.
So I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, oh, look. Yeah, I loved that. And then the second night it didn't happen, and people didn't say, you know, and people never mentioned it. So I got deflated because I was like, that's my one line, isn't it? You know, it's a killer world out there.
Maybe you got cocky with that one line.
Maybe I did. I took it too far the second time, maybe. But no, it's, you know, right. The theatre, it's immediate. I mean, I've always had a passion for it. I mean, I got taken out. My second musical, I was the lead male in it, and I got taken out by my parents because it was exam time, and I was going through getting bullied as well. So I spent a lot of time in the drama studio learning and doing stuff like that to try and alleviate and get away from it. But I kind of got steered to make my exams count, and I got taken away from the lead role, and I cried like a baby when I went to see it because I watched the guy who took the part and he wrecked it. He totally wrecked it. I mean, I can't say that. Yeah.
Company.
I can't say that I would have sung any better in school because I can't say that my voice was any good. But he was like, "Ugh," and I was just like, "Oh my god!" and every time. I think ever since then, there's been that little, and this is why I think people like yourselves are so inspirational that you carry it on and stuff. Because for me, it's ever since I've been there and done that, and I've been a pantomime dame after that, and I was doing bits of amateur theatre, Macbeth and things. But I've always gone and watched a theatre play or a musical, and just sat and I get engrossed. And I pick one character, and I just think that could have been me if I'd stuck at it. And and it's always there, the regret. And I think that's something that when I talk to people like you, it's amazing because you haven't got that because you carried it on.
I did. It's funny though. I really thought that I was going to be in like Manhattan forever and be doing Broadway, and you just never know where your career is going to take you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy with it. I mean, I always say I want to go back to Broadway or whatnot, but musical theater world is cutthroat. It is hard. It is a small family. People have been in it for years and years and years and years and years. So unless you're just a huge superstar and they just give you the lead role because they want ticket sales.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people have been there for like say 10, 15, 20 years in the chorus line before they get to, if they ever get to that lead, because they don't always necessarily. Yeah. It could. Yeah, because I could imagine how gutted that would be working it for 20 years and then some jumped up person just comes in and takes up the lead when
it happened.
Yeah. Just because they've got a lot of Twitter followers or something. So that's the film. I've spoken to a few actors who've said that as well, that they know that Twitter is a big thing at the moment, social media, and I've seen it myself. You see some of these films, and I'm not knocking them. Well, yes, I am. You see some of these people, and some of the choices for characters and people, where rather than choosing hard-working actors and actresses like yourself, they'll just choose someone because they're the person of the moment. They've been on a reality show. Oh, they're the top thing. They can act, and now they're the lead in this film. Whereas everyone else in the film has worked their butts off for years and years to get where they are, and you've just given it to someone who can smile and not going to be rude and do other things on the telly, in a reality show.
Yeah, no. I mean, when I first started the business, there was no Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, nothing like that, and like it has changed so much. And I do like it only because it does help with our fans, especially with the floor. Or we got word out just through Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and that's kind of how we kept in touch, and people knew the show was coming back and everything. Yeah. I mean, for that reason, I think it's great.
Oh yeah, it's a powerful tool for that.
But when when there's these people that are, like you said, that have like millions of followers, and I'm like, well, what do they do? Like, do I need to just post like bikini Instagram photos every single day? Like,
I know exactly what you mean.
Nah, that is not me. So I'm just trying to stay true to myself. And, but I do give people where props are due, and like they treat social media like it's a job.
Yeah, definitely.
It is. They are called influencers for a reason.
Definitely.
I just don't think you're going to get any of their attention at a dinner.
No.
Or ever. Like when you're around them. I mean, people do Instagram story lives all day long. I'm like, how do you interact with other people?
Yeah.
Like when you're using a phone all day.
Exactly. I mean, I know quite a few people as well like that for friends, and that's all they do. And I see it. They're constantly on the Facebook and the Twitter and their Twitter. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
So how can you do it? I'm holding down a full-time job here. I'm trying to do my show in the evenings, and this takes up all my time. I haven't got time to. How have you got time to do all that and sit all day making little stories up?
Yeah. I don't get it. I can't multitask like that.
No, I can't either. But social media is a powerful tool. I mean, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for social media, because it was Twitter that started me out, all in support of a TV show 3 years ago, doing 5-minute impressions to spur people on. That's how I started doing this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the show got cancelled and people were getting despondent, and I was like, I can't write 140 characters to say what I want to say, so I used to do little 5-minute motivational speeches, threw in a few of my little impressions now and then, making people laugh, and I kind of just brought it on then, and now look at it.
Look at it.
Your episode 130, interview 132 or 133 you will be.
Nice. Have you interviewed any other Southern belles?
I haven't. No, you're the first.
Ooh,
I
I love being
think.
first.
Yeah, you're the first Southern Belle I've interviewed. I've interviewed a Southern gentleman, two
Okay.
Southern gentlemen, JD Evermore,
Okay.
and Chris. Oh God, I can't remember his name. He's going to hate me. Forgotten his name. But yeah, they're both from. Oh God, I can't even remember where they're from now either. Louisiana.
Okay.
They're from New Orleans, so they're south as well. But yeah, you are the first Southern Belle, so there you go. Out of
Mississippi.
130 odd.
132.
132, yeah, because you were
Nice.
133. There you
I
go.
like that number. Okay. I'll take
Excellent. So there you go. You are my first. Cool. So moving on. To
that
now that sounds wrong, doesn't it? Sorry, I might have to edit that out.
You go first. Okay. For Skype.
Yeah, I'll read. I might tweak that out.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, that's not going to go down well. Oh
Only
dear.
me.
So
Fine.
no. So hit the floor then with Kylie. She is a strong, sassy character, and I'd say from watching the clips I've seen from it, because unfortunately I have binge shows. I'll explain this. I put shows on for binge watching, and then they just keep going. So Hit the Floor has actually seen on there because I thought actually she looks quite an interesting show. It's Dean Kane's obviously in it as well, and so I was like, right, it does look like a kind of fun show to watch. So because of what I do in working, I have. Each binge show I've got a whole load of them stacked up to watch, and it's there, so I promise I will watch it.
Good. Have you watched one episode yet?
I haven't, not yet. I should have done.
You gonna start from
I'm going to
season
start.
one?
Oh yeah, I'm going to start right from scratch.
Good. Okay.
So
Me
proper
too.
binge
You need
watching.
the evolution of my character because it is a hoot.
Yeah, that's what I was going to actually mention. One of my things down here is to talk about that late in a bit. So we'll talk about because that'll be interesting to see. But I actually loved it. I've seen a clip on. It was your website. I looked on it there. It's very, very funny, and I did laugh out loud when the girls were trying to be polite about your side. Oh, sorry, not your side job, about Kyle's side job, and you just came right out with it. They're all trying to be polite. I see you maybe this kind of an exotic dancer. No, hell no, I'm a stripper. I love that. Absolutely perfect.
That was actually in my audition. Like that. Oh, by the way, I had 8 auditions for that show.
That's a
Yeah.
lot.
Well, with the dancing, and then they had to bring back the dancing, and then they
Right.
wanted me to use a Southern accent, which my accent was not a part of the character before I came in, and then they changed the character for me, basically. So, but yeah, that was in the audition. I was like, and they were cracking up laughing, and then of course it read on camera, thank God,
Yeah.
because yeah, that was a funny scene.
I can imagine it was. I mean, I did laugh out loud when I heard that. It was just like perfect. How
No,
diff?
I'm a stripper.
Yeah. Exactly. Get it right. Yeah.
Like there's a difference.
Yeah. Exactly. So how different is Kyle to yourself? Obviously, I mean, you're not a stripper. There's that. That's like,
Right? I know. People always ask me because they're like, "Oh my God, you are her. Y'all are so similar." And I'm like, okay, the energy level and the comedy, yeah, but like Kyle will do anything to get what she wants, and no.
yeah.
I will. I mean, when I say anything, I'm talking anything. That girl sleeps with everybody. Everybody.
I've seen a clip of that as well.
But and
Or not that, coming on to the guy.
I could learn from her. She tells people what.
So I said I've seen the clip of that where she.
Yeah, and I'm like, I can't always do that because I was raised by my mom and dad, very Southern, like watch your tongue, be polite, be sweet, don't cause any controversy. So it's fun to play her just because I get to go out of my little bubble, and out of my shell, and I think a lot of people just think it comes so naturally for me and that I do that in real life. I mean, I'm not like, I'm not shy. Let's just say that. I'm not really shy. But, yeah, and I think that, Kyle kind of helped me with my sexuality because I've never been that sexy on TV until this character. And I was like, well, I'm playing an ex-stripper, so get it together, Kyle.
Yeah. Get it moving.
Get it together.
Excellent. I mean, I say the clips I've seen of it, and obviously your character doing that and things. You can see where it's coming from, and the moves on there, and Yeah, alluring. I'll use that word.
Oh well, thanks. Yeah. Well, especially with all the this crazy dancing, and
Yeah,
it's super liberating. It's a real it is.
I
It
can
really
imagine if
is.
if it's something completely different to who you are, it's it must be just to let loose and just
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think that the camera crew, like the first week of season one, thought that I was really this chick, and I'm like all over the place, making these crazy moves, doing these
hmm
crazy poses, just being slutty. And they were just like, wait, that's not you? I was like, no, God, you're good at what you do. I'm like, well, that's why I'm paid to be here.
yeah. I've got to say that's really good. I've got to say I used to wrestle when about 3 years ago. And it's just sorry that's only just brought up in my mind because it was just, that people thought that you were the character. I was 38. I took up professional, proper like the American wrestling, like Hulk Hogan and all that stuff.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, so
Cool.
I did it when I was 38. I was only a rookie. I didn't do anything big. I won't ever admit to anything more than just like training matches and a few rookie matches on a show, things like that. But I could flip in the ring. I could jump off the top rope, jump over the top rope. I loved it. But
I love that.
the character I was given by the wrestling boss was apparently because I think at the time it was Uptown Funk was the song.
Okay.
That big song of the time. So I just walk around the training ground because they played it, and I just like be bopping away. And he just says, "You are the campiest guy I've ever met," and I'm not camp. That's not who I'm, And he goes, "No," he goes, "You really are." And so he goes, "Right, the Fabulous Flash," because surname Gordon. He goes, "You are the Fabulous Flash." So I was like, "Right, okay." So
Okay.
he goes, "But your character will be camp." And I was like, I'm not knocking people who are, by the way. I'm just saying this was the character for the gimmick, and it worked. And I was in the ring, and
Yeah.
I was like, and it was just so funny because I mean, it was all the in the ring and innuendo. I had people in stitches with the innuendo that I'd come out with, and it was just like he goes, "You come in here," he goes, "I don't like what you've been saying. I'm going to beat you in the ring," that kind of thing, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Pardon the language, obviously, but that's the kind of innuendo that it was going to. And I actually had seasoned wrestlers of 25 years who've been wrestling 20 come up to me afterwards when they met my family, and they were like, "I seriously thought you were that way," and I was like, "No," and they go, "You did it really, really well. You come across like that," and I was like, "No, seriously, no. It's acting. And obviously that's what got me in the passion of acting again. I think was the fact that I did that and I came across and people actually believed the story that I was telling and the characters. So I was like, and I think that re-inspired my acting. So I'm moving all my hands everywhere. That kind of re-inspired my acting again.
Wait, are you still doing it?
No, I had an accident about 3 years ago where I fell headfirst out the ring. And my
Oh
head was fine, but
my God, that's terrible.
yeah, it was fine. My head was fine, but where they do the up and over, where someone ducks down, the other guy jumps over the top.
Yeah.
I was the guy ducking down, and it was training, and the ropes were a bit loose, and I was the one ducking down. And as I stood up, I tripped on my foot, and hit the ropes, but they were loose, so I fell straight through the ropes, and my leg and as I went down, the ring's about that much of the gym mat, the old gym mats you know from gymnastics. You hit the gym mats, it was one
Yeah.
of them. Then it was plywood about that thick, and then it was metal, and my leg smashed all the way down, and I basically completely ripped and tore a quad muscle. I've still got a dent in my leg. 3.5 years on, there's a dent in my leg because I've lost the use of the quad
Oh
muscle.
my God, that's awful.
The bruise went from the groin down to the knee and all around my leg. It was about 6 months. So yeah,
Ah.
I don't wrestle anymore. Unfortunately, I'd love to. Absolutely loved it. I really, if I could go back, I would. But I just can't hold the strength on the leg anymore. Even when I'm like running or walking or something like that, I can, if I do long distance, it will give way on me.
Did you get stitches in your head?
Oh no, I put my hands in front. My head's as soft as anything. It's fine, doesn't?
Oh, okay.
There's nothing in my head. No, I did get my hands in front of my head. So I didn't get that. It was just my leg basically that went.
Ooh,
But I was out of
ouch.
action. I was out of action for a good 12 months, and yeah. So yeah, that's why I don't do that anymore. But
Right.
so I wanted to get back. Yeah, but that's the acting. That's talking about there. That was the storytelling, and I love telling stories, and you probably found that out. You sat listening to me for God knows how long, rambling away. So yeah, no,
I love stories too, and I get it. Like, it makes people who they are. You know what I mean? You want to know everything.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's it's one of those. But yeah, sadly I don't do it. I'd love to get back into it, but I just know I wouldn't be able to carry it on. So I'll just have to watch from the sidelines. One of the girls I trained with is actually currently in WWE. She's made it. She's NXT. She's can't remember what's her name. Nixon Newell, her name is. She's done so well. I remember everyone staring at me enviously because in one training session she was one of the lads. She didn't mind getting her hands dirty and throwing in, and she was suplexing me. And obviously some of the positions are quite also delicate, where you have to have things and have people sitting. And so I was just obviously on the floor, and all the blokes were just sitting there laughing, just saying, "You don't want her to move, do you?" And I was like, "Nope." I was like, quite happy to be thrown around here, but yeah, no. To be fair, she's done really well. She's training with WWE now,
That's so
in Florida.
cool.
Yeah, so it's absolutely amazing.
I got into that show Glow.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's hysterical. Like that's like wrestling at its best. I was like, what? It's like basically like the 80s. Oh, it's so funny. That's another show you should watch. It's really good.
Yeah, yeah. Again, I think I started watching it, but then I got taken away with doing something else as well. So again, I have such a big Netflix list. It's horrendous. It's of all this stuff I need to watch.
I know. Same here. Yeah, it's just like there's not enough time in the day.
There isn't. I mean, so like I work. I'm an IT project manager by day. That's my trade normally. So like I'm out the office for like 10 hours a day, including travel. Then I come home to do what I really love, which is obviously this. And so, and I used to be able to come home and watch a TV show or something like that. Now it comes home, it's like, right, prep for the next one. I'm like your audition, and I'm writing to publicists.
How many interviews do you do a night?
What? It can be a few weeks. Yeah, one. I've actually had another one tonight because I booked 2 in today. So I've already done that one. And but yeah, sometimes it can go weeks without one at all. It's quite because obviously just like auditions, it's like sometimes it just dries. And I've been doing a lot lately in London. So if the guys are in London, like the UK Independent, there's a little place I found in Leicester Square which is quiet. It's a pub, so no one knows. I've got a TV show idea, but no one knows about this place at all. So it's right in the centre of Leicester Square, and there's literally only ever about 4 or 5 people in it. So I've been doing face-to-face interviews with them there as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well,
so if you come to the UK,
we'll do it face to face.
Sorry.
I said if I'm ever in London, we'll do it face to face.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, because I know that.
And you won't be like bobbing around like this.
I know, for those people who can't see, because obviously this is going to be audio only, he goes, Kat is very kindly holding your phone, aren't you? And you've just been to the gym and worked out as well. So I always say that you're doing very straight, because that's going to kill your arm.
Yeah, my arms are going to be so buff.
Yeah, talking about Hulk Hogan, you'll have like those big pythons from Hulk Hogan at the end of this because of the fact that you hadn't hold that phone right out.
Exactly, yeah. Forget going to the gym and doing weights. Just get on the phone with Chris.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how to take that. I was going to say, I'm like Ken Dodd. Ken Dodd was a comedian, British. He's passed away this year, but he was an old music hall vaudeville type guy, and he used to come onto his show and he used to say, "I'm the safest comedian in the UK because you can come to watch my show in daylight and you leave in daylight." Because he was famous for going on for 5-6 hours. He purely him, no support acts. He would literally go on and tell jokes for 5 or 6 hours. So he goes, "You come in daylight, you leave in daylight."
Oh, wow.
It's just like me. You come onto a show, you can sit and hold it for daylight. Or actually, for you, it'll be evening. It'll be dark by the time we get off the phone for you.
Wait, is it dark there right now?
Yeah, it's getting there. Yeah, it's 9 o'clock at night now. So 9 p.m. now.
Oh, 9 p.m. Okay.
Yeah, 9 p.m. now. So, yeah, it's just starting to get dark. Thankfully, my light's fixed.
We got a while here.
Sorry?
I said we got a little while here.
Yeah, you got a few hours yet, I think.
Yeah.
In the sunshine of California.
Yeah.
So, cool. Moving back to hit the floor. Completely forgot what I was talking about then as well. See, is you've been in the show since the first season. We're now on season 4. You mentioned it before as well. How have you seen the character grow and develop over those 4 seasons? You can spoil it. I don't mind the spoilers. Go on.
Well, I mean, it's not really spoiling. I mean, I think that with any smaller character, there's only room to grow. And my character was only out for herself, and she really didn't really. She lived in her own little world, and so first season was, I mean, basically for me, it was like every single episode was a new guest star, like, and they were throwing things at me. I think first season they wanted me to take over this auction, and they wanted me to do it hog auction style. I was like, what? Like, I had to go on YouTube and learn how to do that like quick,
Oh, right,
yeah. Like that.
Yeah,
what? So that right there was like, okay, they trust me. And then season 2 got a little bit more drama. And they gave me a lot more to do with my character and the interaction with other people, and a lot of interaction, even with like some of the girls as well.
Yeah.
And there were murder mysteries and stuff like that. So that for me, I'd never done anything like that before. And then season 3 was really dramatic. Like it was. We had somebody maybe pass away. I'm not trying to give everything away. We haven't seen it, but also they even trusted me with like my own dance and maybe 2 dances. And so Kyle is like stepping up the ladder,
right?
Per se, at the Devil's Arena, and then this year, it's already out. But like my character is the captain of the Devil Girls, and she also wants part ownership in the stake. So there's a lot going on, like a lot, and then there are love interests that tend to keep coming back.
Fair enough.
And that's where the craziness starts to happen. Lots of craziness.
Excellent. No, that sounds really good. And as I say, 4 seasons is a long time to be in a show, and for a long time for a show in this sort of climate as well to be going for. Well,
technically, we did the pilot in 2012. We started filming season 1 in 13. So we've been doing this show for 6 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Right. But we've only done 4.
4, yeah.
4, but hopefully we'll have a 5th season, and we'll start shooting like sooner than later. So we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of big cliffhangers this year, so I feel like people are going to tune in every week.
Excellent. Cliffhangers are great. They're just like you say, that's the reason they're there, is to make people watch the next one. And
well, our show creator, he's kind of a genius at that, because like every single episode is a cliffhanger. I'm like, how do you do that? What's wrong with your brain?
Yeah.
I mean, you're sick in the head with some of this stuff. And he's like, honey, I got to get people to watch. He's like, we need people to, be like, I can't wait till next week.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I like binge watching, because I binge watched Game of Thrones for that. I mean, it took me 4 times to get into Game of Thrones. I got past episode 4, and 4 times, and everyone else was raving about it. It was on season 5, I think, and I was like, it's boring. I don't like it. It's boring. And they were like, but they finally got into it. But then they're all moaning because it's like, no, we've got to wait another year. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'll binge watch, 5 seasons in like. I think I was off work at the time for about 2 months, so I just kind of binge watched 6 seasons, one after the other. So everyone else was crying because of all these like cliffhangers. Not for me. I just watched one season to the next.
Well, I'm kind of okay. So I'm like the only person that hasn't seen Game of Thrones, and one of my best friends was like, I don't like that kind of stuff. Like, I'm not really into that genre. And I was like, yeah, me neither. And then he goes, well, I'm going to watch like 2 episodes. And he told his friend, he's like, nah, I'm not into it. She goes, get past the 2nd episode. Trust me. And he binge watched the entire 6 or 7 seasons within like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You do. That's what same was me. I think it was like that, and because I was just like, this is really dull. It's so slow. There's no, I was just like, wasn't me. And that's exactly what advice people told me to do. So I think it was the 4th attempt I did it, and I just sat down and watched it. And I think by the end of season 1, I was like, where's the next one? And I was like scrabbling for the DVD. Where's the next one?
I know. I did that with Breaking Bad.
I need to do it with that one. I started watching it, but I couldn't get into it, and I've not managed to get that to binge watch yet.
And, and then I binge watched, was it the OJ? It was the OJ TV series that they had. I guess I had like, oh, because I'm a part of the TV Academy, so they send me for your consideration.
Oh yeah.
So I've got like, I have boxes and boxes and boxes of every single TV show. I have no excuse. I can watch whatever show I want to right now, and I don't even know what to do with all this stuff, and I can't sell it.
Yeah. Send it over
and I can't go donate it because they'll try to sell it. So I'm like, oh well. Well.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah, you can send it my way. I won't sell it.
Okay.
There you go. Mind you, I'll just stack it to the rest of the stuff I've got to binge watch.
You and me both.
Excellent. I mean, you got to work with Dean Cain as well, going back to Hit the Floor as well. So, I mean, because, Superman himself. How does that feel? Because he's obviously, I think he's starting to come back into his own again. I think he went quiet for a few years after that, didn't he? From what I understand, and not quiet so much. He was still working away, but now he's come back into this hit show and.
Right. Yeah. No. Dean is one of the sweetest guys I've ever met. He's such a nice dude. He's such a family man too. Like he loves his son, and I think he was raising his son during that time as well. I think he wanted to be like hands-on. But he does a lot of those TV movies too. So he was always doing those like Lifetime hallmarks. But yeah, like Dean's like, it's Superman, I mean, but then when you meet him, you're like, you're just a big old teddy bear. Yeah, he's very giving as an actor, and just like he comes in prepared, and he's a jokester too. So he's not all serious.
Yeah,
none of us are serious on our show. We're all goofballs. Like you never know when there's going to be a dance party or like a karaoke sing off, like in the middle of the makeup trailer. I mean, just yeah.
Excellent.
Lots of fun characters.
That's what sounds good, and I think that's what makes the show better as well, because if you guys as a cast get on and you have a laugh yourselves behind the scenes, then that translates so much to the screen. And I think a lot of the successful shows out there, it's because the cast themselves are basically a family unit and they just have fun. Is that, yeah, you there?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know what just happened.
Your arm went weak. No, I'm joking.
I think my phone had to put on low power mode.
Oh, right, yeah, because I've talked that long for you.
No. I need to go get a new phone. I'm like just dreading getting a new phone because I just don't want to lose all my pictures and stuff. But I do have the iCloud. Anyway, I will go because.
Yeah.
Sorry. Now I got people calling me. Hold on. You there? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. That's all right. Okay. Yeah, put it all on iCloud and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's where all mine is. I'm having trouble with mine at the moment, but I won't tell you about that because it doesn't put you off.
You're on your computer.
Sorry, I've got it on my Mac. Yeah, so I've got the iCloud on my phone and it backs up to the laptop as well.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to.
Well, yeah.
If you film, that's some of the issues I've had with face-to-face filming, because I film it on the phone, it's in 4K. And I don't know why I'm doing that with thumbs. It's like everyone talks with their phones. I film it on 4K, and trying to put it on the cloud because it's like 12 gigabyte in size. I have so much difficulty trying to get it off the cloud back onto my computer again. It's a nightmare.
Oh gosh.
So I've got to find a different way to film, I think. I will.
Well,
see, I've got to invest. This is what the thing. You've got to invest to get things better.
I think you will. I mean, I'm number 132, so I think.
I know. So, one day I'll start making money from this, and it'll be fine. Because that's the ideal goal is to be able to carry on doing something like this full time and just give up everything else and do what I love to do.
Well, you're so great at it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, you've listened. So that's because you've just listened to me for 50 minutes. And you're like, come on, Chris, finish.
No, dude, I love it, and I'm a talker too. So they're probably like, "Shut up, Katherine."
No, not at all. I've got a couple more questions anyway, which we can go into. What was your best experience so far working on Hit the Floor?
Best experience. Hmm. It's kind of hard to choose because I think that each year there's like a new experience that I
Mm-hmm.
go through. Um, but some of the most rewarding experiences, honestly, are the dancing, like the dances, because I just can't believe that I can even do some of this stuff still. And because all the other dancers, not the actress dancers, but they're dancers. They work on every single TV show as dancers. They're like all on tour, and the fact that like it's so rewarding that like all those years of training when I was a kid, it still pays off. So
Yeah.
that's like one of the coolest things. And there's a dance this season that not to brag on myself, but the choreographer, like we came back from Christmas because we did a dance right before Christmas, and we came back and he goes, I just want to tell all of you dancers that Katherine outdanced all of you. And I was like, what? What? He goes, yeah, you did. And I was like, all right, I was just in the zone. He goes, no, that worked. It worked. And it
Nice.
was like 35 degrees. So it was
Yeah.
freezing, but I was like, screw it. I was like, I'm gonna go out with a bang. And so that was like pretty rewarding.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, yeah. I can't wait. Haven't been able to see that dance yet. So I'm pretty excited to see that one.
Awesome.
Um,
Sounds good.
yeah.
And what was the funniest thing to happen during filming? I mean, we just kind of touched on the fact that you're all jokers and pranksters. Have you had any
Uh,
pranks pulled on you, or have you pulled
well,
pranks on other people?
this was during the pilot.
Hmm.
And it was my birthday. Like the last day of shooting the pilot was my birthday. And my nephew was actually being born on that day. So
Hmm.
it was like a big day, all around. Well, comes to the like all I cared about the whole day was like, has he been born yet? Has he been born? Well, we had the last scene, and the baby's still not born in Denver, whatever. And I'm working with Dawn Stark,
Hmm.
who was on that '70s show, and my character's coming in because she gets kicked off. Like, well, she doesn't make the second round of tryouts, so she's
Yeah.
coming in like, get back in there. So she walks in with a jersey on and high heels,
Hmm.
and he goes, "Can I help you?" No, no, let me help you first. So basically, they were going to insinuate that I'm giving like,
Hmm.
and while he's at his desk, right? Which they never aired this, but I literally go over to the side. I go down. They would just want my heels like popping out,
Yeah.
and Don Stark literally is eating a sandwich um, at the
Right.
desk, and I'm down there, and all of a sudden they're like, "Happy birthday to you, happy birthday." I'm like, "Y'all suck." I'm like, "You could have at least like had like a candle down there for me to blow. I mean, do something." I mean, so that was, I wanted to kill him, but it was hilarious. It was really funny.
That sounds quite good. Nice little prank.
Oh, we prank a lot. We prank a lot. I've pranked two other actors. You know how they have the green screen
Hmm.
for, like, let's just say there's a balcony and you can see the city
Yeah.
behind it. So this is the last day of filming. I think it was like season 2 or something. And I was like, okay, I've got my prank. And nobody knew about it except for the first AD. So all of a sudden, two of the lead characters are having an intimate moment in
Hmm.
this high rise. And here I come looking like I am flying through the air. I'm like, hey, y'all. Oh, hey, how you doing? Just stopping by to say hello. I was like, it's so nice outside. I was like, I don't want to bother you anymore. Get back to your, like, making out. And then I just, wow. It was, and then when they did the bloopers,
Hmm.
it looked so real. But everybody was peeing in their pants. So, yeah, I like to be, sometimes my pranks aren't intentional, though. They
Yeah.
just, like, happen. Like my bloopers, I'm like, oops.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm a bit of a klutz sometimes, so
It's the best way to
then
be.
there, yeah,
Like you say,
exactly.
comedy relief. Ah, dear. It sounds like me. I mean, I was in the canteen at work last week, and I gave everyone a laugh. Well, twice. 2 weeks ago, I sat down and I moved a lot. We got little sofa chairs, and the canteen was full. And for some reason, I thought that it carried on, so I went and plonked myself on the chair to move way for someone, and there was nothing underneath. So I was kind of like the road. I was like Wile E. Coyote on the Roadrunner cartoons for a slight moment. My arms and legs like that, and then just flat. So in front of the entire canteen, which made everyone laugh. And then yesterday I dropped my spoon. This is blooming 12 o'clock midday. I've got no way to get home or get any change. And I was eating, and for some reason, I dropped my spoon in some tomato soup, and it went all over my shirt, all over me, and everything. So I had to go and wash it, and spend the rest of the day putting deodorant on to stop smelling the tomato soup.
Oh no! And of course, your shirt is like red.
Yeah. I managed to get most of the staining out, so it was just there was a slight stains, but I just stayed behind my computer for the rest of the afternoon. I was like, I'm not moving. I'm not going to any meetings. I'm staying here. I was just so embarrassed because everyone just turned and again laughed at me. So klutz.
I mean, like, what are the options? You just go shirtless or go buy another shirt?
Yeah, no, shirtless isn't an option for me. Believe me. Last time I did that, Greenpeace tried to put me back in the water. But yeah, so it's one of that. But yeah, exactly. I could have gone shopping and got another one, but I was like, I'm not going to buy a new shirt just for this.
Yeah.
So I just kind of hid away for the afternoon. Cool. I mean, you've also got a film which debuted last night, which was on last week, I think it was, or a couple of days ago. Lifetime TV, Deadly Matrimony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was that like? What was that about?
Well, it's definitely a thriller.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, this guy has multiple identities, and he marries a bunch of different women, and we all find out. And it's like a girl gangs up on the husband, and try to take him down. So it's super fun. It's definitely scary. Definitely has that thriller mode to it.
Cool.
But it was super fun to make, and it's cool to see it all put together because it's kind of like shooting at the floor too, like in movie style. So you just don't know how it's all going to come together. I shot like the last scene the first day.
Yeah.
Which usually they don't like that.
Yeah, because it kind of can change your aspect on how you look at it, couldn't it?
Yeah. But everybody seemed to love it. It's so crazy because where I come from, and a lot of women just love Lifetime television, and they were more excited about my movie than they were my TV show.
Well, still good. They've been excited, but because I mean, Lifetime TV over there is quite big, isn't it? I think we've got it over here as well now. I'm not sure. I'm sure I've seen it.
Yeah, it's been coming on a bunch though, but like it's cool to play this character because I play an attorney, and I don't have an accent. I had to lose my accent in 4 days.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, they're like, we want to offer you this role, but it shoots in 4 days, and can you lose your accent? I was like, yep. Here we go. Mom, I can't talk to you anymore for like the rest of the month.
God, that must be quite difficult.
It is, but I tell people, I'm like, no, my daddy paid for me to lose my accent when I was in Manhattan when I was taking classes.
Yeah.
So but I hit the floor, I get to use my own accent. I kind of like embellish it a little bit too. So it was a little bit difficult, but then I got easier. It's easier to lose your accent when you're not playing yourself.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that difficult, but yeah, so I get to see myself in a whole nother light. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. I'll watch out for that one as well. I'll have because I'm sure we'll have it over here as well with that kind of thing. I'm sure we've got a Lifetime channel over here, so I will keep out for that one.
Yeah.
Cool. Kind of moving on towards the end now. I mean, I know you also hosted AfterBuzz, and you still host it now and then as well, don't you? And that's obviously a show which I aspire to be like one day. Because I watch it and I see you guys. Obviously, there's so many aspects of AfterBuzz as well. How do you find it being on the other side of interviewing people? Because obviously, you've seen it both sides now. Does it make it easier?
It's funny, like because I know Kevin and Maria. Kevin Maria Menounos, and I worked with her on One Tree Hill, and literally I saw them at some like kid's birthday party, and they were like, "Oh my God, we're doing this thing called AfterBuzz TV. What's your favorite show?" And I was like, "Well, right now I think it's Glee or American Idol." And he was like, "Done." He's like, "Come in and come and play with the host." Well, I was like, "Okay." Well, then he was like, "Kat, you have a knack for this." Like, he's like, "Would you want to host one of the shows?" I was like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay." So I literally just like learned as I was there, but I got so into it, and he was like, "You need to start hosting like a lot," and I was like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yes." And so I was there for a good while. I had like maybe 4 different shows,
Mm-hmm.
and I I don't know. I tried to mix it up a bit, so I started writing jingles
Yeah.
on my guitar, like for every single recap for American Idol.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was like, what have I got myself into? And I would make everybody else sing. I would give them lyrics, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you got this verse, you got this verse, you got the bridge,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it just made it more fun. But yeah, it is. I guess it does make it easier to do interviews because, like, I've interviewed people too.
Yeah.
But I like to ask questions. I've always like, wait, so where are you from, and what do you do, and da da da, and how'd you get there, and
Mm-hmm.
tell me the story. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Cool. No, it's good.
yeah,
So yeah, no, that sounds great. And I say the fact that you made up those jingles and made it your own as well, it is fantastic. It's to sort of individualize it a lot.
but that was when we started AfterBuzz.
Mm-hmm.
It was only audio, and then they had one camera in this one little room, and then
Mm-hmm.
it grew and grew and grew, and now they've got this big old studio in Burbank,
Yeah.
and everybody is doing it. It's so funny because I've just watched this little tiny little project like just blossom. So I'm really proud.
No,
Cool.
that is good. It's their inspiration for me because this is kind of what I want to do. I started audio, then doing video, and
Yeah.
eventually I've decided that's what I keep trying to tell people I'm going to knock James Corden off his top spot.
Ah,
You know,
I can see that.
I
I
did.
can see
I
it.
did go to his publicist when he was over in the UK for Peter Rabbit. I asked if he could come on the show, and they said obviously can't. Obviously he can't. He's too tied up. We can't do it. I'm sorry. And I actually wrote back to them. I was really cheeky, and I just said, you know how much of a missed opportunity you have missed. You could have had Gordon and Corden.
Oh my God, that's so
And I never heard a response.
you have like the same accent. It'd be like watching the same person. It's so good.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll have to knock him off one day.
You will. I believe in you. Go, Chris.
Thank you. Yeah. Woo. You can do the cheerleading thing from there.
Go, Chris. Go, Chris.
Excellent. Right, moving on to my last one. This is basic. This question is my signature question. Now, the history behind it is I had a guest on last year called Mike Quinn, who was in Return of the Jedi and a few Star Wars movies as one of the characters, and he's also been a puppeteer with Jim Henson for 30 years. Now, the question was sent to me from someone who sent it in for him, and I was like, I love this question so much. I've tried to ask every guest I've had this question, and some of the answers are hysterical. So yeah, we should see what yours will be. And,
Oh
and,
no.
and you're a fun enough person that I'm going to ask something else as well from at the end of it. If you could have a Muppet created after your own character and personality, what Muppet would it be and why? And it can be a mix of Muppets or it can be a new Muppet or an
Oh,
existing.
from
Yeah, from the Muppets or Sesame Street or Fraggle Rock.
oh my God, Fraggle Rock. No, I mean, honestly, I think like a mixture. It's gonna sound really crazy, but like a mixture between Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog.
hmm
I well, because Miss Piggy, like, I mean, she's iconic.
Yeah.
Even though she is a pig, she is beautiful, and I just love that she is just so. She's so superficial, and I just think it's hysterical. But then you've got Kermit, who's this sweet, singing, soft dude, like so in love with her. But like, I love their personalities. I like to like morph them together
hmm
and maybe make Miss Piggy a little bit thinner. So I'm just imagining like her just a little bit thinner, like with these like long, lanky Kermit the Frog legs.
You can be the love child of Kermit and Miss Piggy, because then you'd be yeah. There you go. They got the mix of them
Yeah,
both.
yeah. No offense, Miss Piggy, but she likes her donuts.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, that's like their Kermit and Miss Piggy are good ones. That's the only thing because I'll see if I can get this right. It's like hang on, because I don't. Sometimes it comes out wrong. It's like, why are there so many songs about rainbows? That's my little bit of Kermit. And
Yes.
it's like
That's
I've got an audio
amazing.
somewhere. I was having Kermit and Miss Piggy. I did one for a school. This girl, she was last year. She was a 16-year-old girl, really tragic. She got terminal bone cancer in school, and she was still in school over in the UK. And I got a few people to make messages for her, and I did one of Kermit and Miss Piggy, but put their photos up. And the reaction from the teacher said, the class said, Kermit and Miss Piggy, that's big time, that is. They actually thought my impressions were the real ones. I was like,
Yeah.
really? They're not that good?
No, you are that good. Like that sounded amazing.
Because I was doing like, Piggy, Piggy, you need it on set, Piggy, it's time for the show. Kermit, what are you doing over there, Kermit? This goes like that, so it's really bad.
Look at that. I love it.
But
You
yeah,
should do voice acting too. God, do
yeah,
everything for us.
my Miss Piggy sounds like Yoda. My Yoda, when 900 years old, you each look as good. You will not.
Please tell me you use these voices when you were wrestling.
No, I didn't. Sadly, I should have used.
Okay.
I did the Goofy one. I went to Florida, and my lad was like, "Go!" And I had to go to Goofy and all the characters. So I was like doing Goofy. It's like, "Hey there, folks." I can't do it now. Sorry. So hang on. I've got a new sound. Hey there, cat. Welcome to the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Ah! Wait, can you?
That's not
can
that good.
you,
My throat's dry.
Was it Donald Duck? Yes.
That's a little Donald sneeze. So I can only say that in Donald Duck.
That's the sound my mom does for my niece and nephews. Like she's like, I don't know where she learned how to do it, but she loves to do Donald Duck. I'm
Yeah.
like, Mom. She's like this well put together, like prim and proper, like Southern Belle, and all of a sudden she's like, all right. I was like, what is happening?
That's the only thing I can do, but it's really annoying because I'll sit in work and I'll do it when it's really quiet. For some reason, I'll just sit there and people will just all turn around because all of out of nowhere, they're like, "What?" was that?" I just get bored, so just. So yeah. Anyway, that was that. Then my impressions. Yeah, I tried to do Gonzo at some point, but it just comes out like Yoda speaking normally. It doesn't work right. I've got to work on that one, I think.
I think you've got it good. I think you have another job that you didn't know about.
Yeah, voiceover. I should get myself into some voiceover.
Well, some of them are probably pretty old and down out of there. So
they could be looking for a new Kermit. Hey there. No, see, I can't do it now. My voice has got to be right, and it's not right. See, I've talked so much.
that's okay.
Cool. Now, before I wrap this up, is there anything you would like to say before I stop recording to the people who are listening to this, Kat?
Anything else? I just want to thank you for this interview. You're so hilarious and so fun, and I can't wait to come to London and visit everybody over there because I've never been. But yeah, so everybody tune in to watch Hit the Floor July 10th, Tuesday. This summer, it's going to be hot, hot, hot. Trust me. Oh, on BET.
Thank you once again, Kat. That was absolutely fantastic. Adored talking to you and hope to speak to you again in the future. For everyone who's tuned in and listened, I hope you all enjoyed that. This has been Chris Gordon talking with Katherine Bailess on Hellblazer Biz. Until next time.